Hey guys, welcome to Judge Jodi. I'm coming to you tonight with another double rating show, and who better to talk this through with me than Darius, dressing gown 3K. Got the dressing gown on again tonight,
Of
Darius.
course, we're not changed. We're not changed.
Nah, looks good. It looks good. It's actually it's warming up out there, so I don't know how you're feeling.
You know what? I was outside. I went to have a cup of tea outside, sit outside, see how warm it was, and I actually managed to stay outside and drink the entire cup of tea. To me, that's like a major achievement in England. I actually stayed outside
Right?
for an entire cup of tea, so
It's
that's
getting
a
good.
good sign for me. That's a good sign. Fingers crossed that we get a good summer as well. And you know what?
Yeah.
All's well that ends well, and hopefully, that it follows on into our season going to the end.
Ooh, well, I'm not going to talk too soon. I'm not going to talk too soon. But I did
Mm-mm.
name this show "All We Do Is Win," and that was a little bit of tongue in cheek. We know that we don't always win, but we're coming off the back of 2 wins: a win against Brighton and a win against West Ham yesterday. What can you do other than just smile and be happy about it, really? Because it doesn't come.
Honestly.
Oh, Spurs! Why do they do it to us? Like every single year. Every single year.
It's even worse this year because we literally are getting
We're
sort
so
of
close, aren't we?
like
Yeah.
we've got treats getting thrown at us. We get a win, and then as soon
Mhm.
as we get the win, we get the loss, and then as soon as we get a loss, it's another win. So they're
Yep.
reeling us in, and then they're
Yep.
sort of throwing us back out. I can't. I don't know how many times I've said top 4's done, and then top 4's on the next week. So it's ridiculous.
I don't know. I banned the top 4 from my vocabulary like
Mhm.
2 weeks ago, and I don't think I'm ready to bring it back yet.
I agree.
It's hovering.
I agree. 100% agree.
But yeah, I don't think we can. I think we just have to I don't know, one game at a time and just hope for the best and see where we're at. But how are you anyway? Other than the game,
doing good,
everything
doing good. I mean, to be fair, like I said, the football is pretty much dried up now after all of the football that we've had. So now I'm like, God, it's international break. There's not much to do. So I think I'm probably going to miss Tottenham a lot more than I thought I did. But to be honest with you, I mean, there's been a lot of good football on recently, and I was saying on the review show that we did for the West Ham game, the season, the actual Premier League. I mean, we've got a title race, we've got a top 4 race, and we've got a big relegation battle. So I mean, the whole end of the table is all entertaining. So everything's to play for, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
Oh, I know. Like for the neutrals, I think it's going to be amazing. For the Liverpool fans, for the Man City fans, maybe for everyone in the middle, I think they'll just be loving it. But for us, it's kind of like,
there's no time to rest, and that's why we were all saying sort of yesterday. It's like take every game one game at a time, and I think that's the best way to do it.
It's all we can do.
It's going to be so tough to even put that pressure on players when every game is that important.
Yeah, definitely. What are your overall kind of thoughts for the matches? I think we're doing, just so everyone's aware, we're doing 2 shows tonight. So we're doing Brighton ratings and we're doing West Ham ratings. Brighton was quite a while ago, so if you can kind of remember anything. Otherwise, I guess yesterday's match, what were your kind of high level thoughts on it?
I mean, the Brighton game, I can't really remember much of it. I remember bits and bobs. I know obviously Harry Kane came and showed up and scored a pretty good goal, and sort of Kulusevski got an assist, I guess, for the Romero goal, which was technically a deflection. But to be honest, we were very solid. I look at the stats, and they didn't have a goal. They didn't have a shot on target. So I mean, defense did something right. They had 15 shots, but none on target. So take from that what you will. I think I'm kind of on the that's good for me. If you have 15 shots and the keeper's not tested, it doesn't really matter to me. So I think that was quite good. And then the West Ham game, apart from the second half start till maybe about 60, 70 minutes, when Fornals and Yarmolenko came on, apart from that, we were pretty much comfortable. And because they mentioned it was, and also Sam mentioned it, I wasn't scared. Like it was almost like even though they scored, I still was confident in that team and the performance that we were going to win and hold out. And lo and behold, we get the final goal, a bit of root one stuff as well, a bit of Deitch ball, as I said. And, and you know what? We win the game. So I honestly, that West Ham game, I said it on the stream. It almost feels like an Arsenal derby because I've got close friends who are West Ham fans, and I think those West Ham fans are almost looking at us like we sort of looked at Arsenal, and it's quite fun to sort of have a team that's sort of celebrating getting into the quarterfinals of the Europa and still trying to banter us. So it's fun. It's very fun, and the fact that we beat them twice this season as well is very happy.
100% agree with you. And I was there yesterday. I was at the West Ham game, and that was just absolute scenes. It was such a good match to be at. I think I just told you offline, I was sat near the West Ham fans, and it was just like, it was an experience, to be honest. I've never actually sat that close to the opposition before, especially West Ham fans. But it was good. I mean, all the goals that, Sonny put in, like, we were just cheering and jumping like all over the place. It was like such a good experience. The atmosphere was incredible. People were singing pretty much the whole day, the whole game through. So yeah, it was really, really good. The fans were really, really up for it yesterday. So yeah, it was good.
It's so good to hear. Like I said, I was trying my ever so hardest to try and get down to watch that game, and a lot of people sort of were doubting that we'd be able to perform. But I think after I saw West Ham go 120 and really have to bring it all out to beat Sevilla, I was a little bit more quietly confident that we were going to pull a result. I didn't want to say anything on camera just in case it came back. I was quietly confident after playing 120 minutes, and then especially when he only changed, what was it, Fabianski and Masuaku at the start of the 11. I was like, yeah, it's going to be tough for those players to really perform for 90 minutes. So yeah, it was great for me. I have no complaints about the West Ham game.
Nice one. And just a big up to everyone who we've got in the house. Cody Mack, beating West Ham, so nice. Yes, it is. It is very nice. Let's try and get those Arsenal guys next time, right? It's the big.
I don't know when that is as well. I'm really intrigued. I don't know if they have. I really wish somebody could tell me, but like I said, I think they might try and push that further.
The last game. I'm thinking they're trying to do it for the last game for those TV viewers, right?
Definitely.
Tommy G, what's up? Big up to Darius and Judge. Jodi, thank you for being here. Ben Kaufman, evening everyone. Evening. Hope you're well. All right, guys, let's get into it, shall we? Let's get into our ratings. See what's going on. Should be an easy one, right? We got 2 wins on the bounce, so yeah, let's see what's happening. So Hugo, everyone, just so you're aware, we got 2 ratings. We got Brighton on the left, West Ham on the right. So Darius, you've given Hugo 7 and a 6, and I've given him 6 and a 7. A little bit of a switch around there, but I guess it's kind of similar-ish depending on how you took the game. But what are you thinking about Lloris?
You want to know the only reason why I think me and you probably have opposite?
Because I was at the game yesterday.
One, probably that, so you can actually probably see a lot of what Lloris is doing. And 2, he didn't concede in the Brighton game, and he conceded in the West Ham game. And
True.
Part of me wants to semi-blame him a little bit for that goal. I think it came across quick, and it was quite a lightning sort of reaction. But to get beaten at your near post, the ball flies across the box. I wasn't annoyed. I wasn't bothered. I didn't blame him. But if I'm going to blame anybody, I think Lloris could have probably done better there. So, and obviously the defense and defending of the corner could have been better. But again, Lloris I've seen make some incredible reaction saves. So probably expected more from him. But again, he didn't really do anything wrong in both games. Again, I think West Ham had 1 shot on target and Brighton had 0. So that says everything you need to know, to be honest. And I can't really say anything else about him, about Lloris. He was fine, completely fine. Yeah.
No, I agree. And I think you're right in that respect. But then I think for me, I think I gave him an extra point yesterday for that part in the 3rd goal, because basically, he shot all the way up. And that, I think for me, if he hadn't have got the ball to the position he did for Kane to kind of head it into Son, then maybe we wouldn't have got the 3rd goal. But then again, you're right as well in that he did help. He could have done better, I think, with that goal. But we weren't at trouble. So I think, I think all in all, Lloris had a good enough time. Not really.
It's kind of hard to like not rate him low because he didn't do anything, but then also rate him high because he didn't do anything. Because it's like the defense obviously would get the compliments for making him do less work, but he still has to obviously do things and stay concentrated. So I think we've done perfectly fine with the 6 and 7. To be honest with you, I think that's as good as it can get for him, to be honest.
Juice Nuts, you're saying Hugo 0 didn't do anything, which is good. Darius too harsh on Hugo.
Probably so.
Why are you not being harsh to him by giving him a 0, Juice Nuts? I don't know.
You know what? Yeah.
But evening, Juice Nuts. Thanks for being here. All right, let's move on to Cristian Romero. Okay. So you've given him an 8 and 8.5 and an 8 and an 8 for me. Darius, what are you thinking for Romero?
I don't want to say too much because he kind of gives me the vibe of Skip, where like it's only us that really rate him, because I don't think a lot of people want to watch Tottenham, and I think a lot of people perceive us to play pretty boring, bad football. So I actually think he's incredible. Like I think he's just as important as like the Sons, the Kanes,
Yep.
the Bentancurs in the team. It's just and I can't remember who it was on stream. I think it was Mike, or it may have been Sid. He sort of said that it looks like he almost doesn't care when he plays. But I think Deji mentioned that it's almost too easy for him. It's almost like he knows that he doesn't have to try his absolute hardest because he's just got so much talent. He can get the job done. And I think both games he stood out. Obviously, I gave him an 8 because he obviously got the goal, and I know it wasn't obviously his goal technically, but he still touched it. It still went in, so he still gets the goal. And
that's why I
8.5 again. I watched a compilation about a compilation on his performance against West Ham, and just individually, you don't even realize half the stuff he does in the game. And some of the tackles, I mean, one of the two I remember specifically was the big slide tackle he made. I can't remember on who, in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah.
And then the other one where he lost the ball, ran back, won the ball, and then played in between with Doherty to get out of a tight situation. And I was just, it's kind of mind blown. And he's come back from a bad hamstring injury, came straight into the team and carried on where he left off. And if he stays fit, if we can get any sort of players similar to his quality and his attitude, and at 23 sort of being a leader, and I've seen Alistair Gold and other people mention his sort of influence in the dressing room. I think that we've probably spent not even too little, but we've probably got a bargain with him with 50 million or 55 million, because genuinely I think a City, a United, even Arsenal, Chelsea's would all love a player like him, even if he's not their best centre back. Having somebody like him is just so good at intercepting. Like he's just a fantastic player, to be honest with you, and it's so good watching him. So I'm happy, and I hope he doesn't get injured. Fingers crossed, because that could derail our entire season. I'm going to touch wood straight away.
I know. Well, we already saw what it was like without him, didn't we? When he was injured with the hamstring injury, and it was quite a dire time for us. Dier had to step up, but yeah, it wasn't great when we had him out. But I agree with everything you said. Like, he is such an important player for us. And yeah, I sometimes think that he thinks, what is he doing at Spurs? Because it's kind of like,
a bit worrying for me sometimes, because I do think that like his ambition may sort of be bigger than his love for the club. And again, some people may get angry at that, but at the same time, it's like when they won the Copa America, I believe it was maybe not this summer, maybe the summer before. I think it was the summer we bought him. So yeah, this summer just gone. It's sort of Messi had recommended him to Barcelona and basically said this is the guy. Like, he's top centre back, and he got Serie A Defender of the Year. And I do believe that as bad as it sounds, and I'm not putting like Tottenham down, I'm not trying to say Tottenham's a small club, but you know, if the likes of a PSG, a Man City, a Bayern Munich come in for a player like him, it's going to be hard to convince him to stay at Spurs if Conte isn't there. So I think we just have to basically build around him and do as best we can with him and Conte here. And I think he is here to stay for a while, because he's only 23, like you said, but hopefully. I do think that he, like you said, if a bigger club comes in for him and they really do acknowledge his talents, it's going to be hard for me to see him staying. So, but at least again, we'll get a massive fee for him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And again, just quickly back to your, what you're saying about him yesterday with the aggression and everything, like up close yesterday watching it, because I was sat right behind the goal, and obviously only got kind of like one half of the games, but like viewing of him. But yeah, it was really noted, like the effort and, everything that he puts in. It was really, really good to see that kind of in the flesh as well, to see like
100%.
how much he actually does put in that sometimes maybe you don't see on screen. So
definitely.
I'm really, really impressed with him. Cody, what you're saying, not a shred of doubt in my mind that this team no longer functions with Sanchez in there instead of Romero. He's key. Yeah, agree. Definitely agree. Right, let's move on to Eric Dier. What we're saying, 7787. Why did I give him an 8? I'm just trying to think. The Brighton game.
To be fair, I can't even really remember. But again, I looked at the stats and we couldn't see the shot on target, and we didn't really look like we were going to concede. We were comfortable in that game as well, to be fair. I mean, I want to ask you this question, because obviously you were at the game and you can kind of see the defense work and operate in the system. Like, is Dier as influential as people make him out to be? Is he really leading that line and doing all of that hard work, or is it Romero sort of getting us out of situations? Because sometimes it does feel like we do get caught out, or Romero is that good, it sometimes gets us out of situations. But Dier has been, he's been really good.
To be honest, I wasn't really watching Dier much yesterday.
I was going to say, I'd rather be watching Romero as well.
Yeah, and I don't know if maybe maybe he, with his injury and stuff like that, it could potentially have a bit of an effect still on him. But I didn't see him, I did see him, but I didn't notice anything special kind of yesterday from Dier over and above what he normally does, which is kind of why I gave him the 7. But I do notice it, like when I'm watching on screen and stuff, that he does have that leadership, capability, and he is always trying to bring people together and stuff. So I don't doubt that Dier is, a hard worker, and he has a very important part and a place for us in the squad. But I just didn't really notice that above kind of what Romero was doing yesterday. Him and Ben Davies, really.
It's just interesting because, like, when you sort of look towards the summer and you think, well, you got to upgrade. I mean, I think one centre back is a given for everybody who sort of is asking for upgrades in positions. But again, when I see Dier and I think of other people that you could potentially get, it's not to say that Dier is not good, and I think he's got a place in this squad just because he knows the club and he knows everybody. I just think that you could still upgrade on Dier, and again, it's not slighting what he's done and his ability and his sort of consistency this season, but there are better players. It's the same for sort of other players that we'll obviously talk about later on, but he's good, but can we get better and can we improve? You know what I mean?
Definitely. I think a centre back definitely is top priority for us, and Dier's served us well this season, like compared to what a lot of us were saying about him like last season and in times gone. I think he's done really well for us. But yeah, I agree. I think, can we improve? Probably.
And that's the sort of big decisions you have to make when you have a manager like Conte. I know a lot of people have had sentiment for players. I know certain players have left, and you've realized now, like, okay, this player really just isn't good at football anymore, almost. And I just think that Dier, while I think he will stay for a long time, if not his whole career, to be guaranteed a starting place next season, I think we can look for better. Maybe I really do. And for him to play I think if you're in 5 competitions next season, you're going to be playing 20-30 games anyway. So
it's true.
I think it's going to be fine for players and getting minutes.
Yeah, agree. Cody Max saying, if Dier makes one more pass straight up the middle on the ground to the other team, my head is going to explode. He destabilizes Conte's system with his poor decisions. Overall, much improved, but damn.
Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely. Definitely.
Cody. All right, let's move on to Ben Davies. You've given him a 7 and a 6. I've given him a 7.5 and a 7. Trying to remember again why I gave him a 7.5. Let's remember back to, what was it, Wednesday night?
You know what? I think his distribution is really good. I don't know about you, Jodi, but I think he could play a really good long ball. And I noticed that in the Brighton game that his long balls were really good. I don't know. So I didn't really pay attention to him in the West Ham game. I don't know if you sort of were looking at him, but
again,
long balls is really like the only thing that surprised me. But again, he just did a good job and didn't really.
Just an average player. I think that's what Stel was. I think it was Stel last week on the show. It's like he's an average player, and he kind of is, I guess. I've seen improvements definitely under Conte from him, but improvements on an average player, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, it's like you said. I mean, there's no other left-footed centre backs we have in our squad at the moment, so I think he's got the sort of luxury of being an only player with a certain skill set. And if we did have a better left-footed centre back, would he be starting every week or every chance? Probably not
under Conte.
So improved again. I think the same thing for Cody that Cody said about Dier says the same for Ben Davies. I think again improved, but could still do probably better in the market. Yeah,
definitely. Right, let's move on to Matt. Oh, Matt. So just for anybody who's listening rather than watching, Darius has given Matt a 5, or Justin Timberlake, a 5 and a 5, and I've given him a 6 and a 6. You want to go, or don't you want me to go?
I mean, you know what? I never would have thought that this man would even cause so many polarizing arguments between everybody, let alone the Paxton Road family. I mean, it almost exploded on Sunday. It was absolutely hilarious to see sort of Deji and Mike almost completely negate any good performance that he had, and then Sam and Sid were almost defending him a little bit, and obviously acknowledging that he's not that good, but he did have a few bright spells in games. So I think, with Doherty again, we all know he's not good enough, Jodi. Like I think we can all say that like he's not good enough for a Conte
He has
system,
moments. He has moments.
I'll be honest with you. Like I'll be so honest with you. The other fullback that we're going to talk about, I think he had a worse game than him, and I think Doherty probably performed better and maybe not had the better chances because of the lack of pace that he's got and stuff. But given those chances, potentially, I think he might have been able to put it away. So. I mean, he had a shot blocked on the line by Craig Dawson, which was a guaranteed goal if Dawson didn't block that. So, again, I just think that sometimes, like, as much as he does play the safe pass, and I hate Winks when he does that. I'm like, why Winks is he always playing a safe pass?
Yeah.
Sometimes you do need to be safe, and he's better than Emerson, and he wasn't terrible. So I'm not gonna rag on him, but again, like. It's one of the first places that you've got to go and upgrade. Nobody's sort of disputing that when we're saying that Doherty played well or played better than he normally does. He isn't the best player, but again, I will be happily willing to admit that he was okay on. And you know what? Apart from the corner, he did actually sort of start an attack and actually contribute a little bit.
Well,
so
that's kind of why
I'm not against it, man. Honestly, I was fine with it. I'm not gonna do a Deji or Mike and say he's stealing a wage because I think he's all right, man. And then in the summer he might be on his way out. So happy days.
Look, Darius, this show's all about one game and one game only. We're not about bias here. Sorry, Mike. Sorry, Deji. We can't. We have to be honest about that one game. This one game and this one game only. Bias aside, no matter if you like the player, if you don't like the player, you just got to rate them on that one game.
100%. Unfortunately.
So I agree with pretty much everything you said there, though. Just as a side note. But yeah, I gave him 6s. I think again,
5 6s. What's the difference? Honestly?
It's the same thing, really. I mean, I didn't rate anyone lower than a 6. I don't.
You know what? He probably deserves a 6 for the sharp hairline that he's got in that. I have to admit, it's
looking fly there, right?
Pretty sharp.
He was involved in setting up the first goal, I think, yesterday. So that was good. But then, other than kind of that, the corner, I can't forgive the corner. What is it with this guy in corners? Like, he needs practice. I don't know what it is, but it's not good enough, I don't think. But to be honest, it's like an up and down kind of situation. I think you covered it really well. It's not. He's not like terrible, and there are worse players, but it's not what you want. It's not what we want if we want to be challenging for top 4, challenging for the league one day, challenging for Champions League and stuff like that. So it's meh.
I couldn't agree more.
And with that, let's Cody Matt, let's just see what Cody's saying. Our wing backs are so frustrated. Yes they are.
I like that one there.
So frustrating. And on that note, we're moving on to Sergio Reguilón. What are we saying? Darius?
This, you know what, Jodi? This might be the one.
Again.
This might be the one that's controversial to some people. Like I said, I actually think he was worse than Doherty in the game. Specifically, I actually can't remember what he did in the Brighton game.
Yeah.
So I'll just talk about the West Ham game. And again, 2 chances I remember so vividly. He toasted Ben Johnson down that wing. He had Ben Johnson's legs. He had him. He beat him in the sprint. But to choose to go down in that situation, not even to put the ball across the box, but to choose to want to go down. And I didn't see a replay, and I was so desperate to see a replay because I wanted to give him benefit of the doubt. Like, he's a player. He's our player. He was in an opportunity where normally anybody would take that shot. I wanted to see the replay so I could hopefully give him the benefit of the doubt. But to choose to go down in that situation when you could just put your foot through it or just put your foot across the goal, or put the ball across the goal, I don't think it's forgivable. And he did it twice. And I just can't understand that.
It's not. It's worse than that. It's the kind of what he was doing after that when he went down, and the scrambling all over the floor, and the slapping on the floor, and the crying like a little baby.
Yeah. No, it's the only way you can put it, really and truly.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. It's like he probably has all the tools to be an ideal wing back for Conte. And when he joined, well, not when he joined, but when Conte joined, I was like, you know what? I could see sort of the Hakimi transformation that I saw with Conte and Hakimi into sort of happening with Reguilón. And I was thinking, you know what? Sessegnon probably isn't going to get a game in, but now it's like I kind of want Sessegnon back in the team. He's a little bit more rounded sort of in his game, and
I agree.
While Reguilón has attributes that I think are beneficial and work in the Premier League, I think he'd look a lot better in La
Too
Liga.
inconsistent.
I just think
Isn't
he'd
it?
look a lot better in La Liga.
Yeah.
I think he's maybe not physically strong enough for the Premier League. I don't really know what it is, but I think, like, again, if he was at Barcelona playing under, because Barcelona, again, they look like they're getting back to where they were. Xavi's playing fantastic football, obviously beat Real Madrid. I think he fit quite well in that team, and I don't know if he's going to leave. Obviously, Real Madrid have got that second year option to buy him back and whatnot, and I've heard sort of rumors with Barcelona, but I think you could probably upgrade.
I'm with you
probably
on that.
Upgrade on him. I'm not going to lie to you, and also just bearing that in mind, he's untrustworthy with his fitness and his injuries.
Yeah,
so
he's injury prone, isn't he? Like we're
gonna have to probably potentially look at a left wing back in the summer. So it's difficult, man. It really is. I don't think he played very well at all, to be honest with you, in both games.
But that's the thing. Like we're kind of crying out for a replacement in the right wing back area, and now it's kind of the left wing back. We're starting to see under Conte as well that there's no improvements there. So it's definitely that whole.
And to probably ask you a question, if you had to choose, like if you could only get a right wing back or a left wing back in the summer, at the moment, I don't know. I think I'm very much a left wing back more at this.
I mean, I've made no, and I know this is not by a show or anything like that, but I've made no. I've always said Reguilón, I don't get the guy. I don't really know what's going on, and time again, after every single match, he's failed to kind of impress me, and I don't know what's going on there. Like everything you've said, like he's definitely got talent, but it's probably not the league for him, maybe, or there's issues. So
Juice Nuts makes a good point in the comments, sort of about him not improving, which is it's very true. Like I thought he'd be one of the most improved players, and it's sort of like he's maybe gotten a little bit better and maybe found more spaces and created more chances, but overall the output's not improved, hasn't it? So
well, I put Reguilón in my fantasy team like so many times just because I thought that he would be able to be the one to create all the chances, get some assists and stuff, and it's just not happened. He scored 2 goals, I think, or 1 or 2 goals this season.
I think he's got. I remember the one he scored, the rebound from the free kick. He might have got 2 this season. Actually, you might be right. Yeah.
So we need to move on. Don P, what's up? Big up to Don P in the house. English replacement for Reguilón Mitchell from Palace.
Good shout. Good shout.
Yeah, I mean, anything at this moment, to be honest. I'll take anything. Right, let's move on to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. So you've given him a 7 and an 8 and a 7 and a 7. I don't know. I think it's, again, Højbjerg for me is genuinely pretty solid and standard as an average or above average kind of rating for me. Yesterday, I'm just trying to remember, I think he had a really nice pass to Kane towards the end of the match. I think Kane.
Oh, the little chip that he put out. Yeah, I like that. That was cool.
That was very cool. Other than that, I think he had a good game. Nothing out of the ordinary, I don't think, from a Højbjerg kind of performance for me. I think Brighton, I'm trying to remember, I think he was involved in some of the action towards one of the goals, but again, nothing kind of standing out above and beyond what he normally does, but he's such an important player, I think. So
I couldn't agree with you more. Even if he doesn't start, anybody who doesn't want him in and around the squad, playing games in and out of here, I mean, he's proven he can play sort of every game of the season, which he did last season, and he is so important. And the only thing with me is I think his performance is very dependent on who's next to him, and probably the reason why I gave him an 8 in the West Ham game is because of the player who was next to him and the performance that he had. It made him look a lot better because he's a lot more controlled, he's a lot more calm. You can trust that player next to him that, you know, if he was to push forward, if that player was to push forward, they'd at least make the effort to get back or be skilled enough to get out of situations. So as much as he might lack in technical ability, he full on makes up for it in sort of attitude and spirit and
work ethic.
Can't ask for anything else in football. If you're not good at football, then I'd much rather have somebody who can't even kick a ball properly and would run 100 miles an hour for 90 minutes than do a few kick-ups, you know, and doesn't really want to.
And the right attitude as well, isn't it? Like
has to be. It's all you need, really. And I think he's got his place in the squad and in the team, and I think he knows that, and I think Conte knows that. And even if he were to go and buy a couple more centre mids in the summer, I don't think his game time would decrease that much. I think he would, even if he was to come off the bench, and and make an impact off the bench, sort of just muddying up the game in the last 10-15 minutes of games. And I think he could play that role pretty well as well. So yeah, I absolutely love him. I think he's great, and I hope he stays, and I hope people sort of understand that he doesn't have to get goals and assists to necessarily be important to the team.
I agree. NS Sports, big up. What's up? Thanks for being here. When will Skippy be back? Did we
I think I heard after international break.
Yeah,
Potentially we could get that. So looking at that, maybe I think it's Newcastle's our first game back, is it? If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, hopefully maybe we might see him for Newcastle. I just want to see Bentancur and Skip. I mean,
yeah, me too.
That's the one. That's the dream
partnership.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right, let's move on. Rodrigo Bentancur.
Speaking of
8 and a 9 and 8 and 8.5, pretty similar situation there. I mean, yeah, it is what it is with this guy, isn't it? Like, he's amazing. I can't say enough about him and how much we've improved since having him and both Kulusevski, I think, on board. But like on Wednesday, I'm trying to remember. I think he got an assist in off Kane's goal. Yeah. It was amazing, actually. Now that I'm remembering, it was beautiful piece of football. But just an all round amazing game, I think, on Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday night. Yesterday again, just really impressed, and it was again a situation of really liking what I saw in the flesh, being able to see him live, and just what he was doing for us. Like he was helping to drive us forward so much. I think he was involved in the second goal. But yeah, he's just a superstar, I think, from my perspective, and really, really impressing me above what I initially thought I would think when we first kind of got him in. So yeah, really.
And not only is it that he's just technically a very, very good player, he's fit into the Premier League and into the system, into the team so seamlessly, and is automatically become like an important part of the team. And it's like when he's not playing, it's like, oh, okay, this is gonna get 10 times harder now. And it's like,
it's crazy,
how someone can have that much influence so quickly. He's got to have something about him. I mean, 24 years old.
Yeah,
I had a feeling he would be good, but I did not think he was gonna sort of be this good. And I don't know if you remember. I hope you saw it live. You must have seen it. You must have saw it live. But the turn that he did on the edge of the box.
Like the little pirouette,
like a pirouette
thing.
Almost.
Yeah.
I was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, he's going straight to the top. We've got our centre mid. So yeah, just about like we've said, getting players in and around him in the summer that are similar or have different roles that can help him out and alleviate some pressure. Again, he's not known for his goals and assists, and he's contributing. He's playing the ball forward, and he's just great. I can't ask for any more. He was my personal man of the match for the game. He didn't do much, but he just everything right. He did everything
wrong, without him, you would notice, right? We probably 100%. Wouldn't have got the score that we did. So, and to come in as well, I think I've said it before, like for him and Kulusevski being able to play 90 minutes, like off the bat, like
amazing.
That's
injuries
impressive.
as well. I mean, Bentancur was injured, wasn't he?
Yeah.
As well. So
yeah,
much big credit to him. He's amazing, and I think he will probably be a mainstay going forward in this team. And what was he, 20 odd million pounds as well? 25 million euros. So you're laughing, man. It's honestly, it's amazing how he's actually sort of been so important for us. I'm kind of worried that if anything happens, we're going to be like, oh gosh, well, who are we going to play? Winks. I mean, what happens if we have to play him again? You know what I mean? I don't even want to mention his name. I really don't.
Tom P. Bentancur is absolute class man of the match for the last 2 games. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, let's not mention the W word.
No.
Dejan Kulusevski, aka Decky, 888. Another really, really, really important player for us. Like every single game that he's played in the last how many matches now, he's done something for us, right?
Has he had a bad game yet? Really?
I don't recall.
Has he played poorly? Like,
I mean, maybe one of you. Like, I don't think he's ever played poorly. There's
that's what I mean.
There's nothing that I can recall that he's done that's not been.
I think we've shown him the respect and given him 4 8s. I mean, again, a 21-year-old to come into the Premier League and perform in our eyes this consistently.
Yeah, and he didn't get any goals for those 8s either. Like that was,
it's ridiculous. He's. I this one I'm gonna actually have to say, like, I knew this was gonna be a success because he sort of fits the mold of what you need from a Premier League player. So I wasn't worried that he wouldn't fit in. I was just thinking, is he exactly what Conte needs? He's going to be able to hit the ground running. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that finally a player that I actually have wanted to see sort of playing in the Premier League and just enjoy watching is actually playing for my team and doing well. So just personally, I'm just happy to see him playing for Tottenham Hotspur. And again, I hope we actually do. I think 40 million euros for him, you could probably double that and sell him for 80 if you really need to in the worst case scenario. So it's a no-brainer to go and pay the fee. So I'm so happy. I mean, it's Paratici. I think people have to sort of realize that, you know, he might have only missed a couple. Maybe the Emerson is the only miss so far from Paratici, because the rest of the guys, Romero, Bentancur, Kulusevski, and I know Brian Hill's not really done well at Tottenham, but at Valencia they don't want him to go anywhere. So he's obviously doing something right over there. So Paratici, mate, he's doing something.
He's doing stuff. Yeah, he's cooking. You could say he's cooking. He's cooking.
Yes, very much so.
He's definitely cooking. But yeah, the Emerson one, maybe that's a side.
Only blunder, yeah, maybe the Emerson.
But yeah, I think Kulusevski again. He's becoming one of my favorite players, which is crazy because he's only been here like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 matches, whatever it is now. Such an important signing along with Bentancur. I think yesterday it was really good to see him live as well. Just kind of the way that he like really opens up the game for us. I think his style of play is very interesting. It's very different, and he's kind of it's really, really different kind of watching him. It's kind of like really fun to see him. Just kind of, you know, bringing different types of creativity to the players that we don't have and we've needed. So yeah, no complaints from me. I think yesterday was an all-time game in Brighton again. Yeah, I think he already have 2 of 3 shots on target, so he's there trying to get goals. And that's what we want. We want goals coming from different places than, you know, the standard Son and Kane show, which is, I'm not complaining, but we do want them to come from other places as well.
That'll be the difference between us getting top 4 and not winning it. And I know I shouldn't say that dreaded word, but I mean, if you look at all the teams above us, they've probably got 3 forward players that are scoring more than 10 goals a season. So we're going to need somebody next season if we're going to really push for something to add to that goal tally. It has to be him.
We need to get it's him, but it's also the corners, isn't it? We need to work on our corner game.
That's such a great point. I mean, when is the last? I don't even want to think about the last time we scored from a corner. I can't remember.
I don't even know.
You know what? Scoring and defending from corners, because I knew we were going to concede from a corner this game, and lo and behold, Dawson headed to Benrahma and it scored from a corner. So that is a big problem, and you could tell that Conte sort of head coach. I think it was only 4 fouls that we conceded in the whole game. He'd obviously told them no free kicks near our box because it could get really, really bad. Could get really, really bad.
We do need to work on that.
We managed to survive not having Souček put a header in or anybody else, but we definitely need to work on that.
Agree. Right, let's move on. Son, Heung-Min Son. Let me get rid of this. Son P. Sorry, buddy. I need to get rid of you there. What are we saying about Son? 7, 8.5, 7 and a 9.
Lovely. I was probably a bit harsh, you know. I think I was really harsh. He got 2 goals, didn't he? I mean,
he got 2. I think. Do you not think that? I mean, I guess for me as well, I was there, so I was there for both of them, and I was sat right in front of him, and I saw his celebration. So for me, that was massive, and I will make no. You know, everybody who watches this show regularly will know that I love Heung-Min Son. He is my favorite player. There is no bias in the courtroom, but I do enjoy Sonny and his performances, and I've been quite upset and, you know, down a little bit about his performances of late. So it made me really happy and smile to see him kind of do what he did yesterday. I know there was some kind of it wasn't all rosy for him yesterday, but you know, he did come away with 2 goals, and it was really good to see that he is starting to kind of maybe get back a little bit of that confidence that might have been lacking from him.
Well, this is what's crazy. I mean, you know what? I'm not even going to make this mistake, Jodi. I'm going to do a bit of live research right now. I'm going to go on the Premier League website and see if he is 3rd or 2nd top goal scorer, because when I saw it, I was almost like, people don't really appreciate Kane. Son is his 2nd top goal scorer in the joint 2nd with Jota in the Premier League. I mean, If that doesn't say it all, I mean, he's got 13 goals in the league. I don't know how many assists he's got, but I'm pretty sure he's got a couple for Kane. And it's just like, even if he's having a bad patch, as we say, he's still doing a lot. And I don't even necessarily think it is really a bad patch. It's probably just Son not doing his sort of supernova stuff that he normally does. And
it's the expectation of, I think, last season, wasn't it? I guess people
and he's my favorite player as well, so I love him just as much as you do.
Yeah. I think we got very, very lucky and very spoiled last season, I think, with Harry Kane and Son kind of doing what they did. And maybe I mean they're still doing amazing this season as well together, but I guess not as much as what happened last season. Maybe we got a little bit spoiled with that, and the expectation is set a little bit higher than maybe kind of, but yeah, like you said, second highest goal scorer.
It's crazy. Behind Salah.
Yeah. What more can you ask for? So
what more?
I think he had a really good game yesterday. Obviously, there was that missed chance, and I sat right behind the goal, and I was like, oh.
I kind of wanted to feel bad. You know what? I wanted to be like, you know what? It was behind him. Give him a break. But then when I looked at the replay, I was like,
he could have made that.
Sonny scores those goals 9 times out of 10. So I can't be biased. Like you said, we're in a courtroom, so Sonny could have done better, but he's still amazing. He's still fantastic, and without him, like Conte said, you'd have to be crazy to think about dropping Sonny. So
no way. There's no chance.
No chance.
I think that second goal as well, the Son and Kane, it was classic. It was sat right behind the goal, and I could just I knew it was going in. Like you could just tell by the way that they looked at each other and stuff, and you could see it was awesome. It was so good.
Definitely.
I was about to cheer before it even went in because I knew it was going in. It was just And then that final goal was just beautiful. I think. I think he was just showing the haters.
He's the guy. He'll always be the guy, definitely.
I think there were a few people. There's I think he did go down at one point. Maybe people were kind of anyway. Let's not go about that. We're giving him a 9. I'm giving him a 9, and Son is back.
I don't mind. I don't mind at all.
Right, we're moving to Harry Kane. Harry Kane, 9, 8.5, and a 9 and an 8.
So wanted to give Harry Kane a 9 as well for this game, but I had to hold it in just because I think Sonny and Bentancur and Romero were all probably better. And you know what? There's a lot of people were sort of getting annoyed at Kane's long balls and attempting to play those long balls all the time. But that was the ball that was on. That was the one that was catching them out. And I had no problem with Kane doing that. I think Kane, me and you, Jodi, we've obviously got our nickname for Harry Kane at the start of the season. It was dubbed Harry Payne until probably January, February. And then I thought to myself, right, let me see how many goals Harry Kane's actually scored now, because he's obviously turned his form around 108 degrees. Let me see what he's actually done. He's joint 3rd goal scorer in the Premier League, and he's got 5 assists as well. 12 goals and 5 assists. To say you've had a bad season, I mean, that's a bad season. Then I don't
forget really about it.
Do you know what I mean? It's I don't even care about the last half of the season. So if this is the true Harry Kane that we know and we expect from it's only going to really be upwards for us, because I think that a lot of players sort of use Harry Kane to sort of improve their own performances, because you can't not want to give 100% when you see this man sort of, like you say, I think it was do you remember the Brighton game? It was right at the start of the game. He pressed the keeper and missed that chance, the big chance.
Yeah.
And obviously it was an open goal. I think he should have scored it, but he created his own opportunity. I mean, can't get mad at a guy who's running at a keeper, harrying him down and winning the ball and creating a shot. So if he carries on like that, he can do that all he likes and miss as many as that, because he creates his own shot. He creates his own shots, and he also creates a lot of chances for his teammates as well. So
that's the thing, isn't it?
Absolutely amazing. I love him so much.
Creation of opportunities for other players. I think he's really, really been doing that for us this season. So many opportunities that other players probably wouldn't have been able to do. So I think that's a big one for me, is that kind of creation of opportunities, and we've been able to see kind of goals coming from other players over the last few matches, I think, which we normally maybe wouldn't have seen. And that's all down to Harry Kane, I think. But I think, like you said, I think he missed that chance in the Brighton game. But other than that, it was, it's Harry Kane. I think he had 6 attempts at goal, but He's back to, there were games where there were no attempts from Harry Kane, and I think it's kind of like it's clear to see that he is coming back, and he's back. I think he's back now, and it's really really good to see. And then yesterday again, just no goals, but all the creation of chances for other players and everything that he did. That header at the end was just amazing. Just to,
I mean, look at the Brighton game. He had 6 shots altogether in the Brighton game, and I mean, 3 shots is not that bad either. So he's still making the effort to. And I mean, the miss that he did in the West Ham game where he put it over the bar from the Højbjerg pass. Yeah. He should be scoring that. I mean, I think that was probably worse than the Sonny one, because I was expecting that to rattle the net. So he definitely could have scored. Definitely could have scored.
What about what Don P's asking here about Harry Kane, the controversial question that's on everybody's lips all the time? Do you think Kane will want to leave in the summer?
I think it goes hand in hand with Conte's decision on. I can't say that it's going to be sort of Kane leaving and Conte staying. I couldn't imagine that happening, and I couldn't imagine Conte leaving and Kane staying either. So if they both stay, hallelujah. If they both go, alarm bells are going to start ringing for me. I'm not sure about you, but
no, definitely. I'm with you on that. I think definitely the Kane staying because of Conte thing for me, and I think it obviously depends on where we end up at the end of the season. Like top 4, definitely. I think both will stay. Top 6. We'll see. I guess what happens maybe.
Definitely.
So anyway, that's it for our ratings, Darius. But we are on to Crime of the Week. We only have one nomination for Crime of the Week this week. And we've already covered it, so it's going to be no surprise to anybody about what this is. And it's for Mr. Reguilón. For his little whiny carry on, everything that he was doing yesterday, it was not good. Stomping the ground with his fists, like having a little bit of a little tantrum. It's not the first time that's happened. And this week for me, wasn't good.
I'm going to put him in there. You know what? If we had a separate cell next to him for a non-Spurs related Crime of the Week, it's definitely going to that pitch invader who probably is in jail right now from that Everton-Newcastle game. Because how on earth he managed to zip tie himself that quickly before anyone got to him?
My word. So yesterday there were like 2 sets of protesters, right? So there was one on the opposite end, and then they shut that down really fast. And then literally a minute later, there's another lot on the other end of the pitch right in front of me, and they shut that down pretty quickly as well. I think they know what they're doing now.
I think all of the stewards are they probably had a bit of zip tie training as soon as that Newcastle game went on. Because even I was like, that's impressive. I mean, to actually get
that far and to tie yourself on,
and you do that before they grab you. And the fact that they had to get a bolt cutter and it still wouldn't come off, he definitely went to a proper industrial store to get those zip ties. So if he's got a cellmate, then I'm going to throw the Riddler-looking pitch invader in with him. But Reguilón, definitely. I mean, how can you blame anybody else for you going down and trying to get a penalty? It's almost kind of ludicrous.
It's criminal. It's criminal behaviour, Reguilón.
That's why he's in the pen.
That's why you're getting locked up. We're not having Sid's not locked up this week. Sid's out. He's been on day release.
I think he's got bond, is he?
He's got bond.
He posted bond.
After the international break, we'll see what happens. We'll see if he can sustain his on being put out on good behaviour or something like that. But
that's his rule. That's his probation. That's his rule.
No singing.
No singing. He's straight back in.
Cool. Oh, that's a bit close. A bit too close. That's going to do it, I guess, for this week, Davies. I think we've got a bit of an international break coming up. Yes, we've got, a couple of weeks now. So, like you said, you're going to be a bit bored. I'm going to be a bit bored.
Might pick up some extra shifts. Might work some more, do some more uni work, maybe.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty. Do you know what it is though? As well for me, it's every time we have an international break, it seems that we're on a good form. So
and it always seems like there's gonna be an injury or two that's gonna come back from it as well. So
well, hopefully we'll have Skip back now.
Yes.
And I don't think anyone got injured yesterday. So, I mean, hopefully we'll have everyone back. I think. Hopefully it will give Conte time to spend with the players who aren't going to be going out and doing stuff. And I know he needs time with players. So, I mean, maybe it can be a good thing. I don't know.
You know what? I'm very much looking forward to. I think that, well, not looking forward to, should I say? I'm very much looking forward to the end of the season. I think that we can have a bit of confidence, and there are a few games that, especially that Arsenal game, that I think are going to just be, regardless of the pressure and the nerves that we'll all have, it's going to be a rocking game. And I think just to sort of take a bit of a break, maybe some players, like you said, who maybe aren't in the teams, can get a little bit extra training. I know that Conte was speaking very highly of Dane Scarlett as well, so obviously he'll probably be in and around there. So it's good as positives and negatives. A lot of negatives for me, but I guess you've made really good points about players getting to improve and stuff. So
yeah, hopefully that's all we can hope for. But it's kind of one of those things where we're back to this, I don't want to mention top 4, but you know, we're at this point where it's a crucial time and we have to try and win pretty much every single game we have right now. I know that's not possible, but we have to try. I think I do think that they are looking better. I think the squad are looking more like they're up for it. Maybe not every single player, but like I just felt kind of, it makes a difference, I think, when you're there kind of in the flesh and you can see them, and just the way that, you know, sometimes on screen it doesn't really, you can't see, sometimes it looks like they don't really care. Even like what you're saying, you know, someone was saying about Romero and like maybe he doesn't care. I think he really does. Like when you're seeing them there in the flesh and the, you know, the actions and things that they're doing and pumping up the crowd and all that kind of stuff, like, yeah. So I think I don't want them to do it to me, Darius, but I'm getting sucked in again. And
they're dragging you in. I'm telling you, like I said, I'm trying as hard as I can to keep it one game at a time. But Jodi, that will probably go once we beat Newcastle and Arsenal, lose to Crystal Palace or wherever they play next, and we're level on points.
Oh, God. Okay.
You know it's gonna happen. You know it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. So we've got Newcastle on the 3rd of April, I think. So yeah, got a bit of a break right now. Any kind of early thoughts? Do you like?
I think it'll be a challenge. You know, I think the Newcastle game will be tough. I think even though they're sort of pretty much, I guess they're safe now, in my opinion. I don't think they're going to go down.
I think so.
They look like a good team. They gave Chelsea a good game. They don't actually look like a poor defensive team anymore. So I think it'll be a tough game. But if you do want to get top 4 and you do want to sort of set an example, these are the games you win. You don't drop points in these matches, because then playing against Arsenal, there's no point. They'll be 6 points ahead of you, 9 points ahead of you, and you just just playing for the fun of it then, or not even the fun of it. You're just playing because you need to play 38 games. So win these games and then worry about the games that you sort of maybe not even would expect to lose, but you could forgive the boys if they lost. Because it's not that I wouldn't forgive them, but I'd be very annoyed if we lost to Newcastle, because
it's just frustrating.
We beat West Ham comfortably, I think, in my opinion. We've beaten other teams well. We've beaten Man City, we've beaten Leicester. I think there's a lot of teams that are better than Newcastle that I think we can prove to ourselves within that, we can get the job done, move on to the next game, and just keep getting these points on the table.
Yeah, well, we've got a better fixture list than Arsenal to do.
Way better. Yeah, way better. Which is, that might actually turn out to be very, very beneficial for us. So yeah.
Oh, all right. I'm not getting excited. It's fine. Cool. Is there anything that you wanted to plug or anything before we wrap up today?
Honestly, no. I think just the review show. I think we've got talking points tomorrow, which will be. I'm looking forward to that, because the topic is pretty much how we'll do in the Champions League and sort of if it's worth it and whatnot. And it's obviously the big elephant question that we're all talking about. So I'm looking forward to that. I think I'll probably throw my 2 pence in there and mention how, you know, getting even 4th place will probably allow us to just buy a bunch of players that we need to actually work towards, you know, our other goals. But again, stay tuned for that. It'll be tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And obviously Jodi's amazing show, please watch it back if you haven't watched it live. It's always going to be on our channel, so you can watch us back and basically enjoy our ratings. And I think, you know what, I think we were probably 0.5 or 1 off in each.
Yeah, we weren't far off, were we?
And that wasn't planned either, guys. I sent Jodi the ratings like half an hour before. So and she didn't send me hers. So yeah, great Paxton minds think alike. That's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you.
But no, thank you so much for having me. It was amazing.
No, thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on. Just a big shout out to everyone we've got in the crowd tonight as well. So we got Tommy G, Cody Mack, Ben Kaufman, Juice Nuts, Dolphins Cry, NS Sports TV, Richard Evans. We have Don P. We have NS Sports. I've already mentioned you, but big up again. quite a few of you. And then I can't say your name, Edwarderson, your first name. I think it's Athelston Edwarderson.
That's a very good
Apologies.
attempt.
But
Very, very good attempt there. I'm not even going to bother with the first letter there.
But thank you for watching and being here. I think you had a little comment here. I think we'll end up 6. Can't see us being consistent enough.
I wouldn't be surprised. That's all I'll say. I would not be surprised.
But thank you for being here. But yeah, that's going to do it for tonight. Guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to the show and to the channel, Paxton Road TV. We really appreciate everybody's comments and everybody's, just participation, being here and being part of the Paxton Road family. We love all you guys, and we really appreciate, support and everything that you do. So thank you for joining us every single week, or pretty much every single day of every single week at the moment. But yeah, that's going to do us, Darius. I think we've got a bit of a break coming up, like I said. So no Judge Jodi for a couple of weeks, guys. Sorry about that. But maybe I'll join in the other guys and see what's happening on the other shows. We'll see what else we're doing. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys very soon. Come on, you Spurs.